economy better. And I think Kathy also has a session on this tomorrow in terms of developing sources within the companies and within the universities and so forth. I'd love to hear from reporters. And we have a mechanism within my business school so that we can develop those sources for you so that our faculty can do research on everything we talked about. I have a professor who wrote a textbook, This Take on Derivatives. He would love to answer questions regarding that, so forth and so on. But also, I want to go back to the 50 trillion and so forth and the collapse of the economy. There are black boxes in our economy that nobody writes about, and I'll mention some of those to you. Universities are black boxes. I say here today, you're sitting in a university, you are in university territories, you went to universities, you don't know anything about how universities are run. Hospitals, healthcare organizations, insurance companies, private companies, some of the biggest wealth in this nation is inside the private companies. And unless you develop your sources within those companies and organizations and start to chip away and ask questions. I come from a totalitarian government. I understand the value of what you do. And the only reason those folks get away with it is because people like you are not asking questions. So unless you ask those questions here, our leaders of these organizations that I've mentioned to you will get away with it. So keep asking those questions.
I think one of the problems is that we all are practical journalists and we all have deadlines, right? And so you've got a story to do and you do have this whole slate of sources and you actually know everything they're going to say, right? Because if you know what the topic is and you know your sources pretty well, you know, okay, this guy's going to be against, this guy's going to be for, I've got to act, you know, good, so I'm going to get him to say his thing, him to say his thing, have my nut graph here, got it, you know, and so 20 minutes later you can get the story out on the web and, you know, and 2 hours later you've added a little bit and you've got it for the paper and all is well. But for us to get more than that, we have to every single week try and develop more sources. I spend the time that it takes to, when I first started reporting, my editor forced me to take a banker to lunch every Friday. And it was like all afternoon Friday, because really bankers in those days didn't have that much to do. And so, I'm really dating myself, aren't I? Now they're raping and pillaging, you know, they're much busier. But in any case, so I would go and you know, every single Friday to, you know, sit down with another banker, and it was an amazing thing because you would be sitting there at lunch, and you know, I was 23, and I was sitting there with my notebook, and I looked like I was, you know, 14, and these bankers were all 60, you know, whatever, and guys, and they would tell me the most amazing things. I mean, and I'd be sitting there with my notebook, you know, like this, and I was just shocked that they would tell me all these things, and I'd go back and verify, write a story, and every once in a while they'd call me and go, "Now, honey, I know you didn't mean to embarrass me, but you didn't say it was off the record."